Hello and welcome back to the channel. Right, today's video is of this, the SD KFZ7, the German half-track unit from World War II. It was designed as a tractor unit really to transport and tow goods and armour, guns, etc around. So, usual routine, 60-second speed build, some pics, and then we'll get to the review. Let's crack on and build. Welcome back. So, what do we think about this then? I'll be honest with you. Normally, as I've mentioned before, when I've built a model, I'll usually sleep on it overnight before recording this footage. I find that it helps give me a better sense of perspective on the model, and sometimes I can finish a model and be a little bit about it. And I've sort of calmed down, and I feel that gives a better video and review. This, however, has had the opposite effect on me, and it has really wound me up. Now, the finished model, to be fair to it, doesn't look too bad in comparison to the actual vehicle itself, the SDKFZ7. But it's the getting there. Now, normally I will go into the instructions, whether there was anything missing or not, but this is all going to be now then lumped in together, I'm afraid. There was nothing missing. There are a couple of parts that are ever so slightly not quite matching, but on this sort of dark grey I will sort of forgive them a little bit, and nothing was warped at least. But on to the meat of this, and why I'm really quite annoyed and upset with this model. It didn't start well with the instructions. They are, as we had before with the AMX13 from Brick Panda, printed sheets. Now there is a QR code at the top there, but this was a model that I was doing when I was streaming, and I actually used my tablet for the chat purposes, so I'm not able usually to do a QR code unless I can steal somebody else's tablet, which I wasn't able to the other night. Now, one of the big problems with this type of instruction compared with a book or just about anybody else is the fact that they've started running out of ink. You might be able to notice at the bottom here that rather than having green with a little and then little red outline about where the new bricks are supposed to go in, we're starting to get green down here, and the green is really obscuring the red, which made life very, very difficult. But the problem started with this, really, with step one. You have 3 plates which don't join together. Then you have some more bits and pieces which add on to those plates but still don't join them together. And then you add more on, still doesn't join them together, you will still end up with 2 halves. It's only on section number 4 that you actually start joining them together. Now, unfortunately, this was something that was going to be repeated throughout, and there were some really just stupid decisions made with this particular model. Now, I've done plenty of models where the designer has really done things a hard way, rather than putting in, say, a 1x8 brick in to fill in a gap. They've used 1x1s and 1x2s and things like that for no real benefit, other than to perhaps up the piece count or something like that. But this takes it a whole step further. So, for instance, you'll see here that where the wheels attach. Now, these wheels don't go round. Again, that's a similar thing with the AMX13. But you've got the 2x1s with the little cross in the middle that the axle goes into, all fine. It's what's underneath them and how they're mounted. So underneath them you have a 1x1 with a stud at the top and a stud on the side, and with the little lip out. And with that, what you're doing is you've got one stud vertically and then the other stud goes on horizontally, and that's then repeated in pairs. So you have a up and down sort of crocodile's back sort of effect. Then you add in a small 1x1 plate into those lower bits. Now, that doesn't even it out, you are still like this. Then you put on these 2x1 bricks, so they're only attached in one place, and of course what there happens is that they just want to collapse on themselves. Another lovely thing is that the front of the vehicle is only attached by about 2 studs at the front here. So I don't know if you can see how easy that is, how it wobbles. It's, oh, and there we go, we've come off. But while we've come off and we're on the subject of this whole front section, whoops, is really created of the 2 pieces that you are supposed to build at the same time together, but don't actually attach together. You sort of, it's only at the end where you sort of jam them in together, and you put these 2 plates on the top here that attach it in one area, and then there's 2 bits underneath that sort of attached there. So it's, I mean, I've done some bad builds, but this is just ridiculous. It's beyond annoying. It actually almost seems like the designer has intentionally tried to make this as difficult and as awkward as possible. There's another bit again towards the end with this front drive wheel of the track that you've got to put it in. Now, you've already put these in, you've already put that in. Now this goes on the same sort of mounting that these have got, so they're the 2 1x1s in a pair again. You now have to squeeze them in with a stud going in on one side here and a stud going in on the other side there, and you just got to try and squeeze them in there without popping everything else out, which unfortunately it does. It's just moronic. in the way that this is done, and has left me with a really sour taste in my mouth about this, because there are no good reasons for it at all. And it is completely, as I say, it's not a bad looking model for the source, but unfortunately the build process has completely devalued any sense of achievement, any sense of worth of the model to me. Completely, I couldn't care less about this now. As I say, the designer, well, whoever designed this did not design the AMX-13. It's imbecilic. It's just, yeah. There is no thought behind this at all. I think I mentioned before, my kids are 9 and 6, and my little girl, who's 6, is very much into building her Lego. If I gave her pictures of what this looks like, she would come up with a better way of building this. It really is that bad, and this will not be long on the shelf behind me before it is dismantled and put away in disgust, because that's really all I can feel for this. But yeah, I don't even really want to look at it, to be honest with you. So there you go, that's the video for the Brick Pounder SD KFZ 7. Kobe do one. It's about 3 times the price of this. Oh, this was $15.59, which is still not worth it. I've never done the Kobe one, but it cannot be worse than this, surely. I'm sure somebody out there will possibly have done one and will let me know in the comments, but this is junk, and don't buy this, and don't put yourself through it. That's really all I can say about it. So there you go, that's the review today. For that, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe to the channel, but otherwise, you take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.